You want to know how to make business as unusual? Here is our guideline. There are 4 necessary steps to keep your business on track. First, analyze your business situation and prioritize the risk. Second, define countermeasures and execute them. Third, design the recovery strategy and communicate it to the affected employees. And fourth, integrate the lessons learned to achieve a future-proof business continuity management. Let's start with the first step, analyze. It is key to know what is critical to your business. Therefore, you first have to assess the criticality of your business activities. Enrich them with all relevant information about the required resources such as people and IT. Capture the risk of failing and assess its impact and probability. This is the basis to create the action plan for your task force. Let's come to step 2. Since now, once all information are available, it's time to act. First of all, you need to design possible countermeasures for the most critical activities with the highest risks. This can be completely different things, such as acquiring temporary staff, establishing a home office policy, or introducing an emergency process. Based on that proposals, you can decide on and prioritize the countermeasures that need to be implemented in your organization first. Communicate them to the affected employees and continuously monitor what needs to be done in addition and how the progress of your continuity program looks like. You are now running your business as unusual. But at some point, you need to adapt back. Here you need a recovery strategy. Therefore, it is essential to continuously reassess the actual risk situation. If everything is under control, you might decide to return to the normal business. You can now implement the usual processes, policies and resources, communicate them to the employees and again, monitor the progress to keep on track. Finally, you run your business as usual. And now it's time to focus on learning. In today's world, it's not enough to just overcome a critical situation. It is important to be able to repeat it again and again. This is what makes you, as a successful organization, resilient and what brings us to step 4. Assess the lessons learned and decide on a business continuity strategy. Establish and run a business continuity management and increase your future robustness by continuously digitizing and automating your processes. Now, let's see how this works in ARIS. This is your entry point, the start model. As you can see, we already prepared a use case called Business as Unusual for you. Click it to enter the enterprise process map, which we already structured into management, core and support processes and which is already filled with all relevant business areas we know from our long-term experience. With that, you don't need to start from scratch, but you can directly think about the critical areas of your organization or just add them if you are missing something. I see, for example, purchasing as a critical point. Since we have to establish a home office policy, we expect a number of purchase orders, especially for IT equipment that enables our employees to work from home. There is a high risk that the purchasing team is not available. I enter that risk to the sidebar and change the color of the symbol to red, which highlights me a critical point in the process landscape. A tip: use the color coding to indicate the criticality of your business function. Then I go to the details. As just mentioned, I see a risk when processing a purchase order. Although most orders can be automatically placed at a supplier, it can be completely blocked when all approvers are absent due to illness. I enter this again as a risk and mark the corresponding object in red. Let me now jump into the lower level, the actual process description, which is expressed as a BPMN model. I see the standard process in which I have to create a purchase order and provide some additional information. Then it should come to the approval. However, I urgently need a solution for the situation that all approvers are sick. Otherwise, employees won't have the possibility to efficiently work from home. The idea is to include an auto-approval of home office supplies. Doing so, I go back to the higher level process landscape, select the critical business function and add an assignment with the suffix unusual. Then I just copy and paste the content from the original model and make my adaptations. Here I want to bypass the approval step in case of home office supplies. Now I remove the assignment to the original purchase order process. Once I've done this, my employees will only see the new process as their new guidance. If the risk is over at some point of time, I can simply exchange the assigned process again from the unusual to the usual one. This makes it very easy for me to adapt back to the normal business. But please keep in mind, we are not talking about a mandatory 1, 2, 3, 4 approach. Risk can change over time, as well as their criticality, impact and probability. Therefore, it needs to be considered as a life cycle in which risks are continuously evaluated and reassessed. You don't necessarily start with the first step, or maybe you already did that in another way. Finally, ARIS helps to follow a structured approach and achieve resilience with ease. Now that you know how to start, here is what comes next. On the 15th of April, we will automatically update you to the new version of ARIS. It will come with a full end-to-end solution supporting you in every single step with best practice procedures. You can professionally assess the risk, conduct repoint analysis, rank the countermeasures and set up the plan for your task force. Plus, monitoring the progress of your continuity program, and everything supported by report-based analysis fitting the needs of all involved parties. So don't lose time and start now with ARIS, since we want to help you to keep on track.